Yeah, so there's the tractor and spreader, and there's the on-track GPS. It's a little bit windy today really for sowing, but we're only spreading at 12 meters, so I'm not too worried about it. So there's the spreader on the tractor. Doesn't look quite so big on that tractor. So right, I got it in economy PTO. Let's go. This fertilizer is quite a lot more expensive than what we bought originally back in, we bought it early, our first lot, and so we just bought a few tons from a local supplier, and you know, it cost quite a lot more money. So and the price had gone up anyway. Availability wasn't great, so so we ended up paying more money. But with this fertilizer, that's partly why I've got it on this tractor, just because I'm doing it. Normally Dad does most of the fertilizer spreading, but you know, it's something that I've done a fair bit of over the years, but I don't do that much of it. So yeah, so I just put it on this tractor just because I was going to do it. So part of the reason why is because I could put more in it, which I just sort of explained a little bit just now, and yeah, just like I say, we're at the furthest end of the farm. I could bring up quite a bit more. Like I say, I put 2 bags in, where I'd only put 1 bag in the other spreader, in the spreader with the other tractor on. But the other tractor's ideal for doing all the tram line work on the corn and everything like that. So it just works. I don't really want to be going through with this tractor with like 18-inch tires on and stuff. So that's why we use the other tractor. But it works, and like I say, it just makes sense to do it. The spreaders are way better than they used to be as well. Like, there's nothing going on the tractor as well, because they used to be a bit, the old ones we had would spread it everywhere, all over the tractor and everything. There's a tank in this field. It's a water tank, and it's always a bit of an obstacle. But no, so I've got used to the on-track, or the AgriCision on-track GPS now, and it's a brilliant thing, really. I just think, you know, we wouldn't be able to accurately drive on this job because, you know, you can't see as good as, you know, as good as anyone is. If you can't see where you've driven last time, you can't do it accurately. So, you know, I'm all for doing jobs through skill of not needing like GPS and stuff. But, you know, when you're doing something like this, like say spraying off a field or sowing where you can't see your wheel marks, you know, the GPS is brilliant. And you know, maybe one day we'll have a tractor that's got built-in GPS. But for now, this is perfectly adequate. And like I say, I certainly don't need to use it for like ploughing and cultivating or any of those jobs, but you know, for this sort of work it's brilliant. And I did a video the other day on marking out with the mower, and use the GPS for that. So I'm not sure if that video will come before or after this one, but we'll see. Right, I've got the drone up there so you can actually see what it's doing. But no, like I say, there's no way you can see the wheel marks. We're only spreading at 12 meters, but if you get it wrong, the cost of the fertilizer, you know, we'll soon get the value of our GPS back. You know, it didn't cost very much money anyway, so not in the scheme of things. What was it, 765 or something like that? No, it sort of, to start with, when I was first using it, it sort of felt, oh, it's a bit panicky, like, oh, I'm not on the line, oh, it's a disaster, I'm not, like, I can't find where I'm going. But once you sort of get used to using it, it's really quite easy. And like I said, I'd recommend it to anybody. But I just think this is such a good system because, you know, we got it on the iPad here, and I looked at various GPS systems. But like I say, I think this one suits us best at the moment because I've got some grassland to spray for thistles in the next day or two, and this system's just so easy. I can take it off the bonnet, put it on the bonnet of the other tractor, put my iPad and holder in the other tractor, and I've got GPS in that one then, and then, like, you know, literally 2 minutes I can change it from tractor to tractor. And for that reason, I think it's brilliant. I always sort of wondered how accurate the speed was on the tractor, but it's pretty accurate. It's saying exactly the same on the GPS screen as it is on the tractor. And another point, we were working out the fertilizer just now, that the cost of this fertilizer for every 50 kilos, it's £21, 50 kilos. So we're not putting on a huge amount. It's 34.5% nitrogen. So we are putting on 60 kilos an acre of product. So this, you know, it doesn't. It's not a huge amount going on to grow our second cuts, but just to get it moving a little bit. And I'm not expecting too much performance off some of the ryegrass anyway, because it'll dry out. But it doesn't take long of driving wrong. It's like I say, £21 per 50 kilos of product. So you haven't got to go too far wrong driving to be wasting the money. And I know it's all on the field, so it's not wasted, but if you don't need that amount to grow the crop, it is wasted. So it's important to get it right, in my opinion. And like I say, it helps, and particularly with spraying, I think I've said it before, but if you're spraying and you miss bits, it's not ideal, is it? I'll turn you around in a minute so you can see the light bar and what I'm actually doing. Then you'll see how accurately I'm driving to the light bar. It does flash a little bit from red as you're going along. It's like, obviously the ultimate is you want to keep it on green, but you know, you're bound to sort of veer off a little bit. Yeah, so just when it well, it's on green now, so that means I'm in the perfect place, but when it's flashing, when I go off a little bit, in a minute you'll see it, because I probably will, the green light goes slightly dimmer, and the red lights will flash. there, let's doing it. So I'm not too far offline, and then if I just make a slight correction, I'm back on the green again. But in a minute, if I just move over just slightly, there, look, and then if it goes there, look, you see I've gone, so there we are, back online again. But no, it's pretty easy to follow. You can set the sensitivity on it, so you can have it more or less sensitive. I've got it sort of just below half, so it's slightly less sensitive. So I just think it's better to be less sensitive, because otherwise it just drives you crazy, because it's just continuously flashing unless you're actually perfectly online. So, you know, we're sowing fertilizer at the end of the day, so it's not critical whether you're a foot one way or the other. Or I can imagine it is anyway. So, you know, it'd be way worse if we weren't using the GPS. So. Back on it again, going up the other way now. So we've nearly finished this field. Now I'd be glad to have a bit of rain to grow some extra crops. But we're well on track. We've got 500 bales in store now. We've still got 8 acres to cut. I was going to cut that before, but it rained, so we decided obviously against that. So yeah, so we've got 500 bales with 8 acres still to cut of our first cuts. So we're well on track to achieving plenty of silage for the season, or for the winter. Right, all loaded up again. It's just spread in 4 bags. We got it's lithan nitrogen, and normally we prefer to buy like CF nitram, but this is all we could get hold of as a second amount. So we got about 2 1/3 bags in here at the moment. So it's a good load. When we had the sprayer, it had an extra hopper extension, but we took that off just so it was easier to see back over the spreader with the other tractor. But so it won't. I don't think it. You probably would still just about get 3 bags in it, I would have thought. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to put like 2 bags in plus the bit extra that was already in there. So right, let's go and spread again. Right, we're in the next field now. This is our last silage field that we got cut. Let's have a look inside, see what's left. Should be plenty left. I'll do a bit of grazing land afterwards to use up what's in the spreader, so it's working out nice and evenly. So I've got about this field is about 15 acres, but I'm only going to probably do about sort of 11 or 12 of it, because some of the grass in the bottom corner is not so good, and it was a short-term lay, and you know, it's sort of in its 3rd year now, so it's not going to perform very well. So I won't bother spreading that now for a second cut, or just do the parts of the field that are good, which is, well, it's most of the field. It's just the bottom corner. I think it's probably a bit short on lime, so we will do that. And got to change my headland disc over again, and Hope you've enjoyed that little video, and I'll be back with another video soon.